Yeah. Well, I'm trying to just get a sense in terms of, because it seems obviously that obviously they knew about Trump, that Trump wouldn't just like stand in the hallway and cool his heels. It's the sort of situation,
Right.
like from what you've described, what I know of, what I know of Trump, that Trump would have wanted to hear what was going on or watch.
That's possible. I can't remember the exact layout of the room,
Or that
and
Trump just
kind of
wanted,
like I
yeah, or Trump just wanted you terrorized when Trump came into the room later.
it definitely wanted me afraid.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that. And if that was to do with his desire to make the experience as horrible for me as possible, or whether that was from his psyche to give him some protection, because I was kind of already known, I think at that point, as being somebody that would fight back to the best of my ability.
Yeah.
So it could have been either circumstance, but it was definitely to shock, traumatize, and make me more pliable, I guess, in terms of acquiescing to whatever he wanted to do.
Yeah.
And I can just remember thinking, I'm gonna kill this sumbitch if I can just get an opportunity. I'm a child at this point, about around, we would say, 12 years old. So he is a much larger person than I am, and of course 40 years ago he wasn't feeble. So I was looking for that vulnerable point where I could try to kill him.
Well, that's understandable context. There's a lot of policy legislation, law per country where you know that's a situation, extreme circumstances when you're acting in self-defense. You had no idea at that point whether they might just come in and kill you right after. They'd said if you didn't do what they called Trump an old boy, what the old boy wanted, that they'd shoot you in the head as well.
Yeah. Yeah, they never said his name, I can tell you that, but I recognized him, and then I didn't see him until a number of years later on Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. I don't know if you remember that, with Robin Leach.
Oh, yeah.
But I saw Trump on one of those episodes, and I knew that was him.
Yeah.
So at that time, I did not know that this is Donald Trump. It's just that later when I saw him on the Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous, and I said, well, I know that rich asshole. Because in my mind, even as a child, they present on TV, these rich people being, something that you want to be. But from my experience, human beings on planet Earth.
Yeah. Well, there are folks that are financially wealthy that aren't as utterly horrifyingly malevolent. You sure?
Right.
You sure?
My adult me knows that,
but there are a lot. There's obviously a lot. You encountered the worst of the worst, without question.
I am hopeful, though, that they have already made one connection, and if they do any more digging, all they're going to do is find more connections.
Yeah.
Because my dad has been involved in that sort of activity since at least 1980. At least, and probably even a few years before that.
Yeah.
So we're talking 45 years, and those paths are going to cross. I know that they're looking for specific intersections between him and Epstein, which I know